Hey, what's up everybody, it's Richie here, and today we're going to go over one of the most widely unexplained, but most important features in Redstone, which is of course, the comparator. Now from a very basic standpoint, the comparator does two things: analyze items and compare Redstone signals. Now when analyzing items, what a comparator does is check how many items are in a chest or any sort of tile entity, and output a signal based off of how many items there are. So if there are a few items, it's going to be a low signal, and the more items there are, the more the signal is going to grow. As well as analyzing things like how many items are in a chest or hopper, the comparator can also tell how much water is in a cauldron and what orientation an item frame is at, which is actually a really cool feature. And now that we've gone through that, we're going to talk about the redstone aspect of the comparator, which is a lot less talked about and a lot less used. Now, the first thing a comparator is going to do is transmit the same signal, meaning if this redstone right here has a power of, say, 10, then the redstone it transmits onto the other side also has a power of 10, which means if we make a chain of comparators, we will not lose any signal strength. This can seem a little similar to the repeater, but unlike one of those, instead of starting the signal anew, it transmits the signal at the same strength it was when it entered the comparator. And because comparators transfer signals of the same power level, you can make a pulse last slightly longer by adding two comparators going in opposite directions in a loop. The more comparators you add, the longer the pulse is going to last. Basically, the redstone starts from here at full power, and then dwindles by a power of 1, goes over here, comes out at the same power level, and then dwindles another power level, and basically goes around in a circle, getting lower and lower power until it's at 0. But this takes quite a long time, making a good long pulse. And the last thing a comparator does is, well, what it's named for, comparing redstone signals. When a redstone signal is put into the back of the comparator, it carries that signal. But if you put a signal in of higher power from the other side, that will turn off this signal, essentially saying this signal's higher, so we're going to turn off this one right here. I haven't seen a lot of people use this, but it is cool and has a lot of potential. The other feature of the comparator is subtract mode, which can be activated by right-clicking on it, and will make that light shine up, and what this does is instead of turning off the signal, it subtracts the power on this side from the power on this side. So if we have 3 power here, or a line of 3, and 2 here, this will be 1 more powerful, so there'll be 1 piece of redstone activated. And if we go out farther with this one, then, of course, 2 pieces of redstone will be activated. And this, again, I don't see used often, but it can do some cool things. Well, actually, the most common thing you can do with subtract mode is actually one of the coolest. If we flick this lever right here, you'll see a really fast clock being activated. That's because redstone power is coming out of this side and essentially turning this comparator off. And of course, this signal turns it back on again, and it goes around and around and pulses redstone very fast, which is good if you need to dispense bone meal or something like that. And unlike a torch clock, it's completely silent. And there you go, you've learned the basics of comparators. But before we go, we're going to look at some comparator creations that I've seen in the Minecraft community over the years, because, well, they're still hard to understand, and it's cool to see what some people have done with them. Now, the first thing I've got to show you is probably the most famous comparator creation ever, and if you don't recognize it, this is the automatic sorting system. Basically, what this does is filter in certain types of items while leaving other types of items plainly there. And you can tile these together and make a big automatic sorting system where one type of item will go in one chest and another type will go in another. And the way this thing works is really cool. Basically, in this item hopper right here, we have 41 of whatever block we want, and then some dust to fill in the gaps. The hopper below it's locked by the torch down below, so the items can't go anywhere, but once other items start to flow in, the comparator signal increases and turns off the item lock, allowing all of our items to flow into here. And of course, once we run out of items, the comparator signal will go back to normal and the item flow will stop. And the next thing I want to show you is the Etho hopper clock. It's basically a long-range timer, but it's really cool and often hard to understand. So basically what's going on here, our items are trying to flow from hopper to hopper, but they can't because one hopper is locked and items can't flow out of it. Once one of the hoppers is completely empty, the piston retracts, pulling the block back with it, and essentially starting the cycle all over again. So of course, the more items you have in this, the longer the wait between activations. And the last little gadget I've got for you guys today is basically a machine for showing off. This thing is an 8-item selector, meaning we can twirl this little thing right here and select what kind of item we want, press this button, and it will be activated. And this can work for a lot of things, but right now I've just set it to work for fireworks. So let's say we want this firework right here. We press this button, and we get that firework. Now, let's say we want this firework over here. We press that button, and we get that firework. And this can work with up to 8 different items. I also find it can be very useful for automatic railway systems. But if you do want to build this, it is a little complicated, but it will look something like this. Your button is going to go here, your comparator input is going to go on this block right here, and you're going to have to build a bunch of these things. But unfortunately, guys, I'm afraid that's just about all the time I have for today. If you like this video, please leave a like, and if you want to see more videos like this in the future, please tell me. If you want to see any video, please leave it in the comments, and I'll probably get around to it. In other news, we've just hit 200 subscribers, an enormous number, and I have to thank you guys so much. I know it doesn't seem that big, especially compared to YouTubers who have millions and millions of subscribers, but seriously, guys, it means the world to me. Thanks for watching. This has been Richie, and I will see you next time.